What's up, guys? I'm back with another movie review. Today I'm talking about Genesis Paradise Lost. This is a movie that goes inside the early verses of Genesis, which is some of the best known, you know, section of the Bible, maybe, worldwide, even to people who are not, Christians themselves. It deals with the creation of the heaven and the earth and, putting, when God put plant life and humans and everything else on the earth. Obviously, this is presented from a Christian perspective, so a lot of the movie's impact is going to depend on your personal belief system. And the movie does definitely come off like it's preaching to the choir, but, that's okay. I mean, it was their movie to make, so you can't really blame them for, going toward their target demographic. So this movie is kind of divided into two sections, and it goes back and forth between the sections. You have one section that involves interviews with scientists and ministers and people involved in the Christian side of science and theology and whatnot, and they do interviews where they talk about the creation process, what it means to them. They kind of give some ideas into what their perspective on the science behind creationism, and just kind of a faith-based look at how everything came together. Obviously, this is a lot of people are going to disagree with this. Some people are going to love it. Other people are going to hate it. But it is what it is. It's just people presenting their perspectives and their beliefs, and it's. I'm not gonna knock people for saying what they believe in, but I can say as a film critic that that section of the movie is probably not going to be all that interesting to you unless you are a Christian and share those same beliefs. Just because if you don't believe in it, you're just going to get frustrated listening to it. The other side of the movie is kind of a visual representation of the creation process, which is achieved through, computer animation. It doesn't look cutting edge. It's not at a Pixar level, but it definitely looks really cool, especially the landscapes and like when they're creating the planets and the sun and the heavens. It's really cool looking. I will say though, whenever I saw it at the theater in 3D, the experience was much, much different than it would be if you were watching it at home on DVD or Blu-ray. So it's definitely one that if you're interested in it, you need to see it at the theater. It was super trippy. Like when they made the sun and the stars, it was like really wild. Like if you dropped acid and watched this movie, it would be absolutely mind-blowing. The animals and the humans don't look quite as good, but they still look solid for what it is. And it's just mostly like just has some really beautiful landscapes, and it looked just amazing in 3D. And so that's kind of the other aspect of it. So you'll see like they'll go through a day of creation, and then they'll go to some interviews with people who talk about what happened on that day and kind of the science and historical and cultural relevance of what happened. So the movie, as I said, it's definitely presented from a Christian perspective. It's aimed at Christians. At this point in time in our culture, I can't imagine they really believe they're going to change anybody's mind. It's very difficult to change anybody's mind on anything these days, so it's not presented as a hard sell. It's presented as more of like, if you're just talking to some friends who share the same beliefs, you're just kind of filling in some gaps that maybe they didn't know about. And again, a lot of people are going to disagree with the science, a lot of people are going to disagree with the beliefs, but to me, I mean, I don't care what the people's beliefs are. I think everybody should be able to present their beliefs, whatever they are, and in this case they made a movie. And so you can disagree with them, but I'm not going to let that affect my entertainment value, whether I agree with them or not, is basically what I'm saying. The interviews are definitely kind of the less entertaining part of the movie, but there is one guy, and I do apologize, I can't remember his name, but he was a very charismatic speaker and had some definite like moments of humor that definitely got the audience laughing. But the main draw for me was the computer animation, which was just really cool. Especially, like I said, in 3D, it was just really immersive and it was really cool. So obviously, as far as recommendations, I would recommend this to people who either are interested in that computer animation part of it, which is just neat. I mean, I think most people have read the Genesis creation sections of the Bible. And so to see that come alive, whether you believe or not, was really interesting, at least in my opinion. So it's just hard because people who don't share that belief system will have a hard time with the interview segments. So I think for the most part, this is going to be of interest to people who are Christians or who are interested in the Christian perspective. Even if you disagree with it, maybe you'd like to hear them out. So it's hard to recommend it widely because it is such a focused perspective. But at the same time, it was just a really cool movie on the computer animation side, and it had some moments of entertainment in the interviews as well. But it's all going to depend on what your belief system is. So that's my review of Genesis Paradise Lost. I did a full write-up of it at markfusion.com. I don't review a lot of Christian documentaries, but I did also review the one about the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, The Price of Fame. You can find that here in the movie review playlist or at my website, markfusion.com. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at markfusion, as well as Patreon if you want exclusive content. But the best way you can help me out is just to hit that sub button. It's free, easy, quick, and it definitely is a concrete and direct way to help me out and help me grow this channel and continue to produce content. I greatly appreciate you watching this video, and hopefully I'll see you soon.